7 or 8 paces behind her. Świątek's won the junior title here in 2018. She's won 4 French Open titles. She's won a US Open title. And she has never lost a Grand Slam singles final. And that, Abigail Johnson, as you will shortly have the players in your eye line, could well be a significant factor.
It truly could, Russ. I am stood pretty much front and centre in a thick crowd that has developed along the back edge of centre court here at the southern end. And arms must be cramping because grounds pass holders have been holding up mobile phone cameras for around about 10 minutes straight. They've caught a glimpse of Kate Middleton, but they're awaiting the players. And Iga Świątek is first into the hall, as you can hear. Traditional cap facing forwards, the full headphones on. She looks as relaxed as she can, with racket on her back, and Amanda Anisimova, towering fractionally above her at 5'11", is shortly behind. She has her back to us. We can see through the open entrance doors here at the southern end, but the cloudy doors to the main stage remain closed for the time being. Anisimova shifting slowly from foot to foot as if to comfort herself ahead of the biggest match of her career by some margin. A first Grand Slam final, the bun atop her head over the white visor, her head down, and the doors open.
To centre court on this Saturday afternoon with the latest start time of 4 p.m. for the ladies' singles final. Iga Świątek marching to the chair, listening to a bit of AC/DC, no doubt, with those headphones tightly clamped over her ears. Does not acknowledge the crowd. There is a smile and a wave of acknowledgement from Amanda Anisimova, who is not wearing headphones or earbuds. The first chair, the nearest chair to the right of the umpire, has been taken by Iga Świątek. Amanda Anisimova walks past her now, and they continue their preparations for the final. Świątek has all the experience, but Gigi, let's not forget, for both of these players, this is a very first Wimbledon singles final.
And we're going to bring you every ball here on 5 Live. A new champion will be crowned by the end of the afternoon. Will it be Iga Świątek? Will it be Amanda Anisimova? Stay with us to find out as the clock is ticked past 4 o'clock before the players get started. Let's bring you the latest news with Dan Maudsley.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thank you so much. President Trump has published letters threatening to impose 30% tariffs on goods imported to the US from the EU and Mexico, starting from the 1st of August. The European Commission said the threatened taxes would disrupt essential transatlantic supply lines, but stressed Brussels still wanted to work for a trade deal with Washington. An initial report on the crash of the Air India plane last month has highlighted that the fuel switches to both engines were switched from run to cut-off moments after takeoff, but doesn't explain why. The cockpit voice recorder captured one pilot asking the other why they did the cut-off, with them replying that they hadn't. 41 people have been arrested for showing support for a proscribed organisation following a protest in support of Palestine Action in Parliament Square. The group was recently designated as a terrorist group, making any action supporting them a criminal offence. And an endurance race on Wales's highest mountain has had to be cancelled mid-event due to extreme heat. With us, Snowdon 24 involves runners making as many ascents and descents as possible in 24 hours.
The Indian singer and rapper Sidhu Moosewala inspired a generation of young Punjabis.
He really affected the lifestyle, the culture.
But at the height of his fame, he was shot dead.
This is a murder which Punjab will not forget.
I'm DJ and broadcaster Bobby Friction, and in World of Secrets, The Killing Call, we're searching for answers. What kind of world was Sidhu caught up in? Who wanted him dead and why? Listen on BBC Sounds.
Wimbledon 2025 with Gigi Salmon
On 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Okay. Welcome back to SW19. If you are just joining us, we had British winners in the men's doubles. Lloyd Glasspool and Julian Cash crowned champions here at Wimbledon. And now Iga Świątek and Amanda Anisimova are in the centre of centre court. A photo will be taken, the warm-up will begin, and then the final will be underway, and we will bring you every ball of today's final. We'll also keep you across the cricket at Lord's. India are 316 for 5 at tea on the third day of the third test against England. And some news just in, the British and Irish Lions have called up Saracens and England hooker Jamie George. He'll join up with with Andy Farrell's squad in Brisbane next week. Luke Cowan-Dickey came off with a head injury in the Lions' 48-0 win in their final warm-up match against an Australia-New Zealand invitational side a little bit easier. We will, of course, keep you across all the other sport that's taking place. There are still 2 ball girls with the bouquets of flowers that were handed to the players just standing behind the umpire's chair as the warm-up gets underway. And the countdown, Russell, now on to the start of the 2025 Wimbledon Ladies Singles Final.
Yes, the coin toss has taken place. Amanda Anisimova won that toss and has elected to serve. The coin toss conducted by 12-year-old Sophie Neen, who is representing the AFC Wimbledon Foundation from the world of football. That foundation funded by the Wimbledon Foundation with an aim to increase female participation levels and help more women and girls into coaching and leadership roles. Pat Cash is here. Naomi Brodie is here. We're watching the start of the knock-up. Do you try anything clever in a knock-up before a Wimbledon final, Pat?
No. Just trying to get the feel, trying to get the first few hits clean, get the nerves out. Don't be nervous in the first couple of games. So, Iga will be nervous as well. She's more experienced, but yeah, it's just try and loosen up. And Iga's cranking a couple of smashes there. I like that. Hit the smash as hard as you possibly can. That was my always go-to. Just because I was at the net all the time, so for me it was a mental thing. Just say, you throw the ball up, I'm going to crack it for a winner.
Do you know what I used to do in my warm-ups? Obviously not in the Wimbledon final because I haven't been in one. But I would hit every serve as hard as I could in the warm-up tee or wide on the ad side, but tee on the due side. And every single first serve of my match, I would go wide. And I very often aced.
Okay. That's good to know when I play you in
my little sneaker.
In the club championships here in a little...
Don't you worry, Pat, you'll have forgotten.
And in your analysis for the BBC Sport website, Naomi, about this final, in a nutshell, you were suggesting it's the Świątek forehand against the Anisimova backhand.
Well, the Świątek forehand, she's been hitting her forehand, as she so often does, better than any other player in the tournament. She's #1 spot for forehand insight quality, and Anisimova, interestingly, has been hitting her backhand the best of any other player. So it becomes a bit of a chess match as to how to get the ball on the shot that you want. I do think the difference today could be the Anisimova depth and pace of shot. I think if you go really big into the Świątek forehand, it then isn't much of a weapon. But if Iga gets that first strike in, you simply can't do that.
Well, the thing that I'm be interested in is the Świątek forehand goes cross-court almost exclusively unless she wants to, occasionally pop it down the lane inside out. And that's going to the weaker side of Anisimova. So
similar with Anisimova's backhand, it's her strongest shot and she loves going cross on it. So it's like who's going to want to change down the line first, right, and get it back onto the cross-court rally that they want.
Depth is crucial. You're absolutely right.
So the Venus Rosewater dish awaits a first-time Wimbledon champion. Will it be Iga Świątek, the proven Grand Slam champion, or Amanda Anisimova, who has never experienced a moment like this before?
If you told me I would be in the final of Wimbledon, I would not believe you.
Anisimova stands up to it. Forehand down the line winner.
I never even dreamt that it's going to be possible for me to play in the final.
Pass down the line on the forehand is a winner. Iga Świątek will be delighted with the way that first service game has gone.
I mean, she can play amazing tennis and she loves, fast surfaces.
Oh my word, what a shot by Anisimova.
I thought I experienced everything on the court, but I didn't experience playing well on grass.
Świątek falls to her knees. She has won her 4th French Open title.
It's just that much more special now, considering taking a step away from tennis and then coming back.
Smacked away by Anisimova.
To be in the final is just indescribable, honestly.
This to get to the Wimbledon final. Reply cross-court by Anisimova. That's that! Amanda Anisimova is into a Grand Slam final for the first time in her life.
I feel for sure that I'm playing great tennis, but if I would say, I dreamt of it as a kid, I would be lying.
Backhand down the line is a winner. It is an outright winner from Iga Świątek, who is through to her first Wimbledon final, and she has done it in style.
Iga Świątek is the youngest woman to reach 6 Grand Slam finals since Justine Henin, the best part of 20 years ago. If she wins, she'll be the youngest player since Serena Williams to win a Grand Slam title on all 3 surfaces. 4 French Open titles on the clay, 1 US Open title on the hard courts of New York. And will it now be a first Wimbledon title for the 24-year-old who has already spent 125 weeks of her life as the world #1, trying to stop her, Amanda Anisimova, in a first Grand Slam final. But she has been in very good form throughout the grass court season. Runner-up as the WTA Tour returned to Queen's Club, and now preparing to serve first in the Wimbledon final. The American serves towards the backhand of Iga Świątek, who's in front of the raw box, and there's a miscue from Anisimova on that usually trusty backhand.
Oh, I don't think we're going to see clean striking. Wouldn't expect to anyway. First Grand Slam for both, as Pat said, they'll both be nervous experience or not.
A bold move, perhaps, to elect to serve first, having won the toss in a first Grand Slam final. Very aggressive forehand return by Świątek, who already has love 30.
Love 30.
Great forehand, wasn't it? There's good body serve there, and Anisimova did the right thing, just getting the serve in hard into the body, but Świątek quickly out of the way and thumped that one.
Love 30 down, Anisimova serving just long. Temperatures of 28, 29 degrees Celsius. Probably still in the heat of the day, but it will cool a little bit if this final extends into a third set. 11 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. Anisimova showing signs of early nerves, puts a rather tame forehand into the net, and these are 3 early break points for Iga Świątek. Many of the spectators in the full glare of the sun fanning themselves as they watch Anisimova just miss the first serve. She's only the second player in the Open era to reach a Grand Slam final at an event where she lost in qualifying the previous year. Backhand from Anisimova, 3 break points down. Backhand down the line from the American. Cross-court with the forehand goes Świątek, and that will be a moment of light relief for Amanda Anisimova, scoring her first point in the Wimbledon final with a glorious forehand down the line.
Just get yourself on that board. Just breathe a sigh of relief. You'll take the point for now, and then you'll work towards the game. Finding her best strike so far.
She lost to Eva Lies of Germany in the final round of qualifying last year. Anisimova, because her ranking was too low to get direct entry after the 4-month break she took from the sport the previous year. In fact, it was longer than that. She didn't touch a racket for 4 months due to concerns about her mental health. Second serve, break point down. Forehand cross-court from Świątek is right onto the baseline, and it's wide. The half-volley pick-up from Amanda Anisimova, who is broken to 15. Świątek strikes. What did you make of the decision to serve first in a first Grand Slam singles final?
Interesting. I think, had you asked me 5 years ago, I'd have not batted an eyelid. I'd have said, well, that's the norm, isn't it? Everybody chooses to receive when they win the coin toss, but they don't anymore. Even on the ATP Tour, where you're so much more likely to hold serve, more and more players, it's the trend now to choose to receive first for 2 reasons. Firstly, you don't have to get broken in the very first game, as Amanda Anisimova has just been, but also you're serving, or you don't have to serve the final game at 3 games all when those balls are heavier before the new balls come at game 7. Which is where a lot of breaks occur. So I think it's twofold as to the reasons why a lot of players now choose to receive first. But Anisimova going out there full of confidence, but it didn't pay off. She's the breakdown already.
She started these championships brilliantly. 6-love in the first round against Yulia Putintseva, but has dropped 3 sets since. Her first top 20 opponent was the world #1 in the semi-finals, and she came through with flying colours as she beat Aryna Sabalenka 6-4 in the deciding set. A breakdown early on, and now in front of the royal box and watching the Iga Świątek serve head her way. So many great Wimbledon champions sitting in that box, just 15 or 20 metres behind her. Forehand from Anisimova, the forehand from Świątek into mid-court, and Anisimova nets the backhand.
15-love.
You can see she's frustrated. Just a bit of a tap on her leg from her racket. Just kind of want to shake yourself, don't you? Say, come on, get going out there, but you need to get those nerves out.
There is a 9-time champion in Martina Navratilova, a 6-time singles champion in Billie Jean King. Backhand cross-court reply from Anisimova. Cross-court 2 goes Świątek, and that's long on the backhand from Anisimova. It's 50 years since Billie Jean King won the last of her 6 singles titles here. And also Ann Jones, champion in 1969. Conchita Martinez, who won the title in 1994. Martina Hingis is here too. And more recent champions such as Garbiñe Muguruza, 5 Lives Marion Bartoli, and Simona Halep, the winner just 6 years ago. Świątek with a dream start. 1 love, 30 love. She's won 6 of the first 7 points of the final here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Little bit of breeze, but not particularly significant as Świątek catches that ball toss and is now ready to serve, and the forehand is struck more powerfully down the line by Anisimova. And that's long from Anisimova, going for that backhand and trying to keep the ball as close to the baseline as she can. But so far, she's just not quite finding her range.
How did you deal with the nerves, Pat, when you were out there for your first final? Was there anything that you actively tried to do, put into place, and maybe spoken about with your coach before the match?
No, not really. Just stuck to my game plan. It's always serve first. I don't think I've ever not served first in my life.
Yeah.
But that's the style of play I had.
3 game points for Świątek. Backhand Anisimova. Świątek cross-court with the forehand. Anisimova cross-court with her forehand. And that's netted by Świątek on the forehand side.
40-15.
2 game points remaining for Świątek, who has joined Agnieszka Radwanska as the only Polish players to reach the Wimbledon final in the Open era. And the backhand is long by Anisimova. And the first 2 games have gone the way of the former world number 1, the current world number 4, Iga Świątek. There has been a breakthrough at Lord's, much to England's relief, I suspect. Eleanor Oldroyd.
Yes, and it's the captain who's done it again. Ben Stokes just getting an absolute snorter to Nitish Kumar Reddy, who got hit on the helmet. You'll remember before tea. Caught behind by Smith. He's out for 30, and India 326 for 6. Still 61 runs behind, with England desperate to hold on to a bit of a first innings lead.
5 Sports Extra for commentary on the 3rd day of the Test match, with the 5th T20 international between the women of England and India to follow from Edgbaston at close of play. So 7 minutes played on centre court, and Iga Świątek is off to a flyer as Amanda Anisimova serves to the forehand of the pole, and she's just missed that forehand cross-court aggressive return. Also from the world of sport in the Royal Box, we have Sebastian Coe and Mo Farah. Adam Peaty is there. And from the world of entertainment, Greta Gerwig, Sam Mendes and Stanley Tucci. Alongside the Princess of Wales, who'll be presenting the Venus Rosewater dish to the champion.
Second serve.
Anisimova showing a brief sign of frustration there as the let is called, and she needs to hit this second serve again. The serve is into the net.
A lot of nerves here, isn't there?
Yeah, it's tough to watch. I think you can hear the silence in the crowd. They'll all be desperate for her to get going.
Big game for her too. Really needs to hold on here.
15 all after the double fault. Lands a first serve now. Backhand into mid-court by Świątek, and there's a backhand cross-court winner by Anisimova. And she will now get the benefit of that support from the crowd, who instinctively will want to support the underdog and give her the encouragement she needs. They would not be comfortable at seeing a player freeze in a Wimbledon final.
Is that an English thing? We absolutely love an underdog, don't we?
What would the Aussies do at a moment like this, Pat, as we watch Anisimova serve to the backhand of Świątek? Backhand from Anisimova cross-court, and Świątek's backhand is wide.
That's a couple of good backhands there. Beautiful backhand, deep, cross-court.
40-15.
Clean winner of the previous point, nice and easy. Right under the baseline. Naomi said that if we can get the depth early on, She's just been hitting the ball a little bit out at the moment.
2 game points. Just missing with the first serve, but Anisimova poised to open her account in this final. With an Aussie crowd, it would probably depend whether there was a pom in the final or on the other side of the court. Forehand cross-court from Świątek. Backhand Świątek down the line. That's fantastic hitting.
That's the early change of direction that I said that we had to look out for today, because
40-13.
Anisimova trying early on in the rally to get it onto the backhand side of Świątek, expecting she's going to play it back cross, then she can play her favourite shot, getting on the front foot, but Świątek not allowing her to get into that routine. Taking her own backhand up the line so early on.
Świątek's so quick, she doesn't get too damaged with that, but Anisimova is not as quick around the court.
1 game point left for Anisimova, and that was a very long first serve, which landed closer to the baseline than the service box. Ball toss now caught by Anisimova. And here's the second serve. Backhand from Świątek. Forehand into the net, Anisimova.
It's a shot that she's made the most of throughout the rest of the tournament, but again, the nerves on display. She just didn't move her feet enough. It's I think the thing that goes first when you're nervous is the footwork. Your legs feel like lead just stuck to the floor, all jammed up.
She's looking really quite dispirited now with her serving.
Just 4 from 11 first serves in so far.
Second serve, delayed slightly as she brushes an insect away from her face. Second serve to the forehand of Świątek. That was a brave serve, and Świątek netted.
103 mile an hour on the second serve. She is definitely directing her second serves into the forehand of Świątek, which is an interesting tactic in itself, isn't it? She's not afraid of that side of things, but has to stay aggressive on it exactly as she did there.
Her advantage at love 2 in this first set. And I'd take great encouragement if I were Iga Świątek from the body language of Amanda Anisimova every time she misses the first serve. Those shoulders are visibly slumping. Second serve, still game point to the American. Backhand from Świątek with real pace. And it's wide, the backhand from Anisimova again, who is shaking her head at the back of centre court.
A lot of head shaking. Yeah, this is not something I'd like to see my player doing, missing first serves or not.
Deuce. First serve netted once more. Aryna Sabalenka was very complimentary about Amanda Anisimova after the semi-final. I think she was very conscious of not repeating what happened in Roland Garros, where she was less than gracious about Coco Gauff when Gauff beat her in the final. Backhand reply from Świątek. The forehand is pushed down the line by Anisimova, and that is Świątek hitting a backhand into the net. But she did credit her with being braver and more aggressive. We're just not seeing that at the moment, are we? Presumably because of the nerves.
No, and that's the exact word actually that I used in my column on the sport website, Russell, was that she had to be brave today. That's her tennis, to step up in those big moments. It's exactly what she did so well against Sabalenka.
She does have a game point here, but another first serve has disappeared into the net. Second serve, Anisimova to get on the board in the Wimbledon final, right to the back of the service box. Backhand from the American onto the sideline. Cross-court goes Świątek. And Anisimova just doesn't look to have that spring in her step, Pat, as she nets a backhand.
Yeah, no, as Naomi said, the legs, when they're nervous, a bit jelly-like. She's struggled to get across to that one. She's not the quickest player around the court. She's a very clean hitter when she gets there, of course. And Świątek, I mean, that's her game, isn't it? Just rush the opponent, get them moving quickly.
Third deuce of the game as Świątek hopes to move 3-love in front and a double break up. Nice flat backhand from Świątek, and now the forehand hit cross-court. Anisimova cross-court with a forehand and wide, and Świątek will have an opportunity. Here's a break point to the 8th seed from Poland.
Again, a little bit of frustration shown from Anisimova, just kind of flailing her arms around, slapping her thigh, turning round. Not particularly looking up to her box. I don't think she feels she doesn't know what to do out there. It's just a case of trying to get her game going, trying to allow these nerves to settle.
How do you try and relax yourself and loosen up? Tempting to just let out a blood-curdling scream?
Yeah.
Not really the place to do it, is it, centre court at Wimbledon on ladies' singles finals
you need to
day?
maybe exaggerate your body language, your energy. You know, get the nervous energy out somehow. Burn it off.
Break point Świątek. Again, she's got to look at a second serve, and it's a double fault. And this has been a pretty desperate start by Amanda Anisimova. I think there's sympathy all around centre court because the nerves of a first Wimbledon final are always going to be heightened, and Iga Świątek is playing the way she has done throughout the first 6 rounds, and it's quite an advantage in the early stages, Gigi. Only 14 minutes gone, but Świątek leads 3-love.
Very happy to say that alongside me is Laura Robson. And Laura, in that last game, we were willing Anisimova just to hold serve and get on the board.
Yeah, you can feel the nerves so early on here, and just the reactions like Russell was talking about, just giving too much away, but it's not helping her tennis. You know, she needs to keep the intensity with the footwork. She needs to just almost play out of her comfort zone to try and get on the board here and to finally relax. And if your shoulders are slumped, if you're reacting after every point, that's not going to help you. And these are such tense moments. And then this is the problem, I think, when you're playing Iga Świątek when she's on a roll, that she just races through games so quickly, and you're just trying to get points on the board. So you're feeling further away than ever for Anisimova here.
And Russell, that intensity was clear, and we know Iga Świątek is an intense competitor. When they made that walk from the locker room, Iga Świątek was almost running.
She was running
down the corridor.
Power stride going down the corridor. She was about 10 paces
Couldn't
in front.
even see Anisimova.
50-kilometre walk. Would she have been disqualified?
Possibly.
She was very much heel-toe.
Just gone.
3-love. In a hurry to land a first Wimbledon title is Iga Świątek. And she's serving now in front of the Royal Box. Just delays. And she's unhappy with that toss, and now serves to the backhand of Anisimova. That was a clean, confident strike by the American, and that was a lovely off-backhand winner. So great combination from Anisimova to win the first point against the Świątek serve. Love 15 down. But without any hesitation or delay, Świątek up to the mark to serve again, and it's a service winner.
Great serve right down the middle. I mean, both players wanted to try and get some free points out of this, off their serve, and that's why Anisimova is sort of shaking her head. She can't make the first serve.
15 all. Forehand reply, Anisimova. Świątek's backhand to the backhand of Anisimova. This is drilled down the centre. Cross-court now from Anisimova. Backhand cross-court right to the back of the court by Świątek, who's shanked a forehand.
And the crowd can feel it too, can't they? She's just starting to find the centre of the strings a little bit more. She's getting on that front foot a little so more often. Anisimova and Świątek, I'm not surprised she'll have tried to race as far ahead as she could from Anisimova, because I think she knows once she does settle, she's dangerous against anyone.
15-30 down now, Świątek, as she chases a 100th Grand Slam match win. Fine return by Anisimova. Forehand into the net, though, from the American as she tries to work that ball cross-court.
30 on.
Bit of luck there for Świątek. She had a great return from Anisimova, so Świątek just bunted the ball down the line. It was a bit short, a bit wobbly, and
it's tough with Anisimova's grip on that forehand, isn't it, when the ball's low and short? Stiff.
She hasn't got the loose wrist, so some of those, it's like she muscles them.
30 all. Forehand Anisimova, backhand Świątek, fired down towards the baseline, and Anisimova nets, and there's a fist pump from Świątek, who has a point now for 4-love.
Big first serve, 121 mile an hour.
Oh,
and
didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Anisimova returned it really well, but she backed it up so well. Świątek hitting it back hard and deep again.
Game point, forehand Anisimova, forehand cross-court Świątek, and into the net, Anisimova with a forehand. And even though there were a few signs of improvement there by the American, the end result is the same. Game Świątek, 4-love.
She needs to just loosen her wrist up on those forehands. It's I don't know. It's just part of her technique. It's almost like she's gripping the handle so hard she can't break her wrist and get any snap through it. So she's arming the ball And when you're nervous and you're doing that, it's really tough work.
Love 4 down. Anisimova, who is a very good front runner. It may not apply today, but in fact she's won her last 29 matches when she's won the first set.
Wow.
Double fault.
Love 15.
And this is when Świątek is so good, because so many of the players you would sort of say, oh, they might lose their focus or, you know, being so far ahead on the scoreboard. I think Świątek is the best front runner, isn't she? I mean, how many matches does she, what do we call it, Iga's Bakery, that she wins 6-love or 6-1?
That's right, yes. We have bagels, we have breadsticks, whether it's 6-love or 6-1. She pretends not to find that amusing as Anisimova misses the forehand. Perhaps she feels she has to bat it away a little bit because it might be disrespectful to some of her opponents, but certainly it's done a roaring trade, Iga's Bakery, on social media over the last 3 or 4 years. Online sales have gone through the roof. Although less so in 2025, it has to be said, where she's not yet landed a title, but she's in an incredibly strong position in this first set at least, in the Wimbledon ladies singles final of 2025. 5 Live, BBC Sounds, real power on the forehand, cross-court by Świątek. It forces the error on the forehand from Amanda Anisimova, who finds herself love 4 and love 40 down after just 20 minutes on centre court.
Just too much power, isn't there? Miss the first serve. Iga is just right on top of that, thumping the next ball.
Here's the first of the 3 break points as Anisimova puts her first serve into the net. She's landing about 1 in 3 of her first serves, the American. Second serve. A sympathetic, slightly subdued centre court. Watch Anisimova hit a squash shot forehand. A slice forehand by Anisimova onto the baseline. But still, Świątek finds a winner with a backhand cross-court onto the American's baseline. And look at the scoreboard, Gigi. 21 minutes played. Iga Świątek with this 5-love lead.
It's heartbreaking from an Anisimova point of view, but it's breathtaking from a Świątek point of view. Back on centre court very shortly, but to Lords, the cricket and Ellie.
Yes, and that breakthrough from Ben Stokes in the afternoon session, the only wicket to fall, getting rid of Reddy with an absolutely brilliant ball. He was out for 30, caught behind by Jamie Smith, but we've just seen Ravi Jadeja get a 50, very patient 50. The batting has had to be patient really throughout this, and England would just love Stephen Finn to get another wicket here and hang on to that lead, which is shrinking all the time.
Yeah, Jadeja's the key to that. He's 50 not out, but Ben Stokes working up a decent head of steam here. The England captain has 2 of the 6 Indian wickets to fall. He bowled an absolute beauty a few overs ago to Nitish Kumar Reddy, who was being stubborn in his defence for 30. Stokes, he seems to be the man who wants to take this by the scruff of the neck and make the breakthrough, because England do need another one.
He was responsible for the run out of Rishabh Pant as well just before lunch. Ben Stokes, 335 for 6, India 52 behind.
Thank you to you both. Iga Świątek stepping up to serve for the set in a match, Laura, that you think would benefit if it was elongated slightly.
Yeah, this is when you're desperate for the women's final to be a best of 5, because you can see the nerves, you can see the tension from Anisimova. And if she just had that much more time to know that she could play her way into the match, it would feel so different for her, because now down 5-love, she's almost feeling like the match is not over, but that she's not too far away from a finish line and it's all going too fast. But if you know, okay, I can knuckle down, I've got at least another 2 sets that my opponent has to win, then it changes your mentality massively. But yeah, it's been quite a few finals, especially that we've seen at Wimbledon, where you think it's the biggest stage in tennis. There's so much of an occasion behind it, there's so much pressure, and this is what happens when people get incredibly nervous. The difference is that the guys have extra time to play into it. I just think of Carlos Alcaraz a few years ago in the first set. He was so nervous he couldn't play, but he found a way because he had the time.
Thumbs up from me, and I think from Pat too, and maybe from Naomi.
Yeah,
5-love, 30-love here. Iga Świątek continues to be in cruise control. It's a commanding performance so far from the 5-time Grand Slam champion, and 2 points away from wrapping up this first set with only 24 minutes on the clock. Second serve for Świątek, who again is serving very well, as she has done throughout the championships. Forehand hit by her to the forehand of Anisimova. That's better from Anisimova onto the baseline. Good defence from Świątek. Drive volley Anisimova. Drop shot Anisimova. Świątek has chased this one down. The volley from Anisimova. Świątek has somehow made contact with the ball, and the lob goes over the baseline by Anisimova, and that pretty much sums things up. Iga Świątek was in the right place at the right time, but she didn't know much about that volley, and yet she still won another point, and she has 3 set points.
Oh, just great reflexes, Świątek. You know, the ball was coming straight at her. She just got her racket up lightning fast, and it hit the frame and dribbled short, and Anisimova couldn't believe she got it back and was just got completely confused. Tried to hit the lob.
3 set points then for Iga Świątek. Forehand reply from Anisimova with real power. Forehand cross-court from Anisimova is wide. And the first set of the 2025 ladies singles final has lasted just 25 minutes on centre court. It's been a commanding effort by Iga Świątek. It's been a miserable afternoon so far for Amanda Anisimova in her first Grand Slam final. Świątek has won it by 6 games to love.
4:35 on a Saturday afternoon, the muttering and murmuring of the crowd on centre court, wondering if the American can get herself back into this final. We'll be back on centre court very shortly, keeping across all the action that's taking place today. But now at the time at 4:36, let's bring you the news headlines with Dan Maudsley.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thank you so much. Yes, President Trump says imports from both Mexico and the European Union will face a 30% tariff from the 1st of August. Brussels has said it will bring in countermeasures if necessary. India's aviation minister has warned against speculation after a report into last month's Air India plane crash found fuel control switches had been switched off seconds after takeoff. Experts say the switches can't be moved accidentally. Police in London have arrested more than 40 people at a protest in support of Palestine Action in Parliament Square. The group was recently proscribed as a terrorist group, making any actions to support them a criminal offence. And Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland are set to have their warmest days of the year so far as the 3rd heatwave of the summer reaches its peak today. Amber heat health alerts remain in place for parts of England.
This summer, England are hosting India in a 5-test series.
Balls, oh, it's charged him. What's in it for 6? Straight over his head.
Diving in the air, Ollie Pope, brilliant catch, one-handed.
And you can hear every ball, every boundary and every wicket with the TMS team on 5 Sports Extra.
Bat raised, weights, upright stance.
It's ball there!
Plus, with BBC Sounds, you can take the action with you, so you never miss a moment.
India's Tour of England.
Hear live coverage right now
on 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds.
Wimbledon 2025 with Gigi Salmon
on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Welcome back to Centre Court at Wimbledon. It's the women's singles final. 25 minutes and a 6-love bagel set for Iga Świątek. Amanda Anisimova now serving raw box behind her with a forehand going down the line. The backhand cross-court, bit of height but great depth from Świątek, who flattens out the backhand and drops a little bit short. Cross-court on the angle from Anisimova up the line. The pick-up from Anisimova, centre of the court. The backhand through the court from Świątek. The net found by Amanda Anisimova.
Well, Iga Świątek moves so beautifully, but we usually see it on clay. It just seems like she's more balanced than ever on this particular surface. And she's winning so many of these points that are extended rallies because she's just forcing Anisimova into a tricky position to play on her back foot time and time again.
Love 15. Still less than half an hour on the clock of the final. She serves down the tee and the forehand is hooked into the corner. And the forehand, it's big, it's deep, it is too deep. And just the look on the face, Pat Cash, as she turns towards our commentary box, says it all about Anisimova right now.
Yeah, nothing's really working. I mean, she's not missing by much. I mean, there's other things. It's only a few inches here and there. So she's actually striking the ball quite well. It's just not going in, and it's incredibly frustrating. And if she does slow it down, then Świątek is just all over it. She's playing a great game, taking advantage of the young player who's got the nerves. That's what it's all about.
Well, 9 of her last 10 matches on the grass, Iga Świątek. So Anisimova, the runner-up in Queens. The serve kicks the back edge of the baseline on the return, and the high forehand hammered into the net by Świątek. So Anisimova is on the board in the second set.
Anisimova had to dig out that return off her feet, and just from our commentary position, you see the top spin that Iga Świątek gets over the top of the ball. It's got so much rotation on it. It's got height over the net, and it just makes it even trickier for Anisimova to get that sort of heavy-hitting rhythm that she prefers on the ground strokes.
23-year-old winds up now into the serve and serves out wide. The backhand to her feet. She goes drop shot. Oh, beautiful change-up.
She's going to have the crowd on her side because they just want a long match.
Yeah.
30 on.
Drop shot off the backhand side. Wrong footing, Świątek. And Anisimova, who beat the world #1 Aryna Sabalenka in the semi-finals. 3 dropped sets before the final, now 4 in total in her 6 and a bit matches on her way to her first Grand Slam final. Anisimova serves out wide, misses. She's got a white visor on, Anisimova, and her newly dyed dark hair tied up in a bun at the back of her head as she serves out wide, and the forehand comes back with extra on it, and that shriek
30,
of frustration is from Anisimova, and it's break point.
Oh, doing clever. Świątek just getting into that forehand, the weaker side, and you've got to have a plan B at some stage. Anisimova's got to go, okay, where can I go to Świątek to get a couple of free points? You know, what is that? What is that shot? Let me just try and get a couple of easy points.
I mean, nowhere at the moment. Serve down the tee, break point, back through the middle. Świątek with her forehand, lashings of spin on that ball from Świątek, and she flattens out, clips top of the net. The forehand down the line, just in from Anisimova, who's hammering and clubbing this ball. Height on that forehand from Świątek. A miss from Anisimova. She knew it had missed as it left her racket. She thumps the ball into the back of the court. It's a break for Iga Świątek.
Oh, and Anisimova's probably feeling like she's running out of options because she can't sit in that forehand cross rally, and then she's almost going for too much when she does try and open the line and go forehand down the line, and she's barely getting a backhand. It's her favourite shot, but especially in that last game, Świątek refusing to give her one to work with. So, yeah, it's just almost desperate at this point from Anisimova.
Is there anything, Pat, she can do that you're seeing that she's not doing?
Oh, yeah, I mean, first serves are huge, are crucial, and she's just not making the first serve from the very first game. And this is body language. You know, the very first game of the match, she was shaking her head when she wasn't getting the first serves in. I mean, that just sends a horrible signal to yourself, to your brain, to your body, to say, oh, things are just not going well. I mean, in the first game of the match? Really? I mean, you know, he's okay. You're frustrated and you're set down and you still haven't got a first serve, okay, then you're frustrated. But, you know, it's just, and it's just compounded, hasn't it? The stress is just compounded. I mean, that was a really good rally, the last rally. She's starting to open up and go for shots, and, you know, perhaps you can string together a few good winners and hit it, and, you know, hold serve, break serve. And that's what she'll be hoping to do this game.
Iga Świątek with new balls, leading by a set and a break. Rolls her shoulders backwards. Świątek resets herself. Just her second final since she won the Roland Garros title in 2024. She's down on one knee with a backhand through the middle of the court, and it is long from Anisimova, who just swings around in disgust.
It's great depth, though, isn't it? It's fun. I mean, this is a masterclass in, you know, how to play a big match. Going to the weaknesses, making first serves, hitting the ball hard, hitting the ball deep. I mean, it looks ugly on the scoreline, but if you're a Świątek fan, I'll tell you what, you'd be like, this girl is something special.
And still just 24 years of age and already won 5 Grand Slam titles. Wow. And she places the backhand up the line for an easy winner.
Oh, she's such a good front runner, though, because the intensity doesn't dip at all. I mean, she's got so much comfort on the scoreboard right now, but approaches every point the exact same, as if it's the first point of the match. Every single shot matters to her.
It started from that speed walk in the corridors. I mean, she was off.
That was a light jog for most people.
was incredible.
You saw me jogging this morning, did you? That was a sprint.
30 love. Iga Świątek with the royal box behind her. She wears the baseball cap on, peak facing forward, with her ponytail tucking out of the gap at the back of the baseball cap, and she double faults.
30-15.
One of the only errors she's made.
Yeah, that and one forehand, I think. It's about it.
Tucks the ball into the black shorts that she's wearing under the white skirt, white sleeveless top. White framed racket, lays into the backhand, scoops it up, and the forehand up the line from Anisimova. Anisimova will get a mid-court ball, sit up high. She'll be able to club this with the forehand, which she does.
And a bit more of a positive reaction from Anisimova there. Fist pump. Bit of sharp footwork before that last forehand around the ball, making sure that she was in the right space to hit it.
30 all. Second game of the second set after a 6-love 25-minute first set in favour of Iga Świątek.
That's brutal.
Świątek serve out wide. It's chopped back. Świątek has the court. She goes down the line. Anisimova reads it, goes cross-court backhand and wide.
It's the tail of the match, isn't it? I mean, that was only 6 inches wide, wasn't it? It's just been like that, 6 inches long, 6 inches wide. It's so frustrating for her. But she's actually striking the ball quite well. It's just not dropping.
Wide stance of Anisimova. Game point Świątek. Serve down the tee. Chop back. Mid-court ball. Świątek should deal with it. Oh, she goes back to the Anisimova forehand. Then she has to play a volley. It's too good.
Class.
Really, really good from Iga Świątek, who consolidates the break to lead by set and 2-love.
Beautiful finish off. Yeah, went the wrong way.
The
The ball's really just popped in the middle of the court. She had so much time, and I think she was waiting for Anisimova to make a choice. She didn't, to pick a side. She didn't, and then decided to just go for her favourite cross-court forehand, which Anisimova correctly picked. That's one of the things that would have discussed with the coaches. You know, something on the right-hand side of the court, she'll go cross-court. But she's followed up with a beautiful, beautiful touch into the open court with a volley.
This is tough, though.
It is really tough.
Big serving. Here we go. 4 first serves. No.
And then you're willing her.
Missed by a way.
You're absolutely willing her to get a game on the board here.
First serve missed by quite a way out wide. Świątek, quite an upright return of serve stance. The bend in the knee. And she bounces to the baseline. She clubs the forehand cross-court, misses. I mean, the roar of the crowd should, if and when
the roar in
Anisimova
the
gets on
commentary
the ball.
box, so we're going to be on our feet in here.
She is 3 points away from getting that roar. Love 2-15 love. Serve misses, and she looks up to show as if to say it can't have missed. But it did.
Just again.
I don't think that'll be of any comfort to her at the end. Well, you just missed all the time. Serve down the tee again. Forehand so quick back through the court. The forehand from Świątek down the line. The backhand cross-court from Anisimova, who's on the baseline. Anisimova with the forehand. Oh, she mishits.
That's the one again. Just no wrist in that forehand.
I think that's a footwork issue, though, because she's planting her feet too early and then almost reaching for the shot. And again, when you're feeling nervous, your feet almost feel paralysed. They feel like bricks. And you just can't get it going.
It's not good. The breeze blows the skirt of Anisimova. She serves out wide. The forehand comes back to her forehand. She redirects up the line. The pick-up of the backhand from Świątek, who scampers back into place. The driving forehand is netted by the American, who thought really long and hard about smashing the racket into the grass, but knowing there is a heavy price to pay if you do so, she kept the racket in hand, but it's 15-30.
Yeah, good defensive lob. Świątek hit it up there into the sky. A bit of breeze. A bit of sun up there as well. That shouldn't affect her that much, but it was... She was probably a couple of minds there, Anisimova. Realised she had to go for it.
Unfortunately and understandably, she looks like she's getting quite emotional at the back of the court. Amanda Anisimova, 15-30 down the tee. The forehand through the middle of the court. The backhand from Świątek. They're playing through the middle at the moment. The off backhand from Anisimova. The forehand. Oh, the zip she gets on that Świątek. And again with that forehand. The forehand down the line for Anisimova is a winner.
There we go.
That's the sort of play
rally like that she's won.
We thought that would come from the first game, first point, but That's the sort of rally that she wants. Opening up the court nicely. Świątek is going to go across court. We know that. And then there's big gap down the line. She made that one. Nice work.
30 all, love 2. Can she bring up a game point? Misses the first serve. Disgusted with that ball. She bats it into the net. The ball boy scurries across and scoops it up. She has the ball from the shorts under her white skirt. She adjusts the skirt, pauses, and starts high bouncing of the ball. Settles herself, tosses up that ball. And a double fault will give Iga Świątek the chance to go 6-love and 3-love in the women's final.
Well, Pat's been mentioning the first serve percentage. Anisimova down at 38% first serves in for the match. Only made 12.
Wow. I don't think there's a lot that will make good reading for Anisimova at the moment, especially not the scoreboard. Break point for the double break. Serve down the tee. The forehand's in play through the middle. The off forehand. Oh, she thought she'd miss. She almost started walking towards the chair, Anisimova. No call came and break point saved.
Yeah, half in, half out. Yeah, the ball jumped, didn't it? That forehand, the topspin that Świątek gets on it, really jumped in, and she caught it fractionally late, which ended up being a perfectly clean winner.
Juice, love 2. Anisimova needs the first serve. She gets it. The forehand sits up a little bit, and it's ballooned wide by the American, who again, boy, does she just want to let that racket go from her hand.
She just doesn't get any free points from Świątek. And at this point, she needs them. You know, Świątek's not going to give you an unforced error off the return. She's going to make you play every single shot.
There is quite a hefty fine if you damage the grass. Otherwise, I think that racket would have left her hand by now. Break point for 3-love. Miss down the tee, down the centre line. Świątek back into position. Just moving slowly from foot to foot. Now she's still. She bounces on her toes. She steps up. She hits the forehand. She overhits the forehand.
2 more of those might be nice.
2 freebies, yeah. She's got a couple in this game, hasn't she? Anisimova, but few and far between so far. Just a couple creeping in. Świątek game. Probably didn't need to go that hard on that forehand on the break point. But that's his style.
Again, first serve does not hit its spot. Looking to go big down the tee. Świątek keeping her distance from the baseline currently. On her toes. Now she'll jump forward, and it's a double fault. And it's another break point opportunity, a third of this third game of the second set.
Even though it's interesting because Świątek went for that forehand, I said maybe she went too much. But what it does, it puts a signal in the opponent. If you get a second serve, I'm going after it. I'm going to attack it, and this is producing double faults.
Sun breaks free from the cloud in the sky, hoping for that first serve. She gets it. The backhand's in play. This is break point. The backhand played cross-court from Anisimova, who settles back on her backhand, places it cross-court to the cross-court backhand of Iga Świątek. The net is found by the American Anisimova. 6-love, 3-love, and Naomi Brody. It's a big, lonely place for the American right now on centre court.
And by 1 set to love.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it, actually. You kind of just want the ground to swallow you up and walk off the court or, you know, run and hide. And in individual sport, there is nowhere to do that. You can't hide behind your teammates. You can't be subbed off when you're having a bad day. It's an incredibly isolating feeling. One which I actually experienced quite a lot when everything wasn't going right. But it makes it even tougher that she's playing against Świątek, who is so incredible, probably the best in the world at being a great front runner, just merciless at times. You have to be. That's why she's such a great champion. You know, there's just no blinking. She's on autopilot. The blinkers are on. There've been a few moments that you felt Anisimova was almost going to get herself back into it, but again, it's the combination of her not finding her best tennis, but Świątek playing so well as well.
Time.
She really is playing at an astonishing level. Iga Świątek looking for her first title since Roland Garros, since the French Open in 2024. She's won 9 games in a row in this Wimbledon final as Amanda Anisimova heads towards the Royal Box and the player box end. Crowd crowd will continue to help her as much as they can. But unless there's a dip from Iga Świątek.
Yeah, well, as Laura said, she's just so ruthless. So she comes straight out of the off the chair. She's running. You know, she's doing kickbacks on on her knee, with her legs and hamstrings. She's fired up. This is could be the first game.
Serve down the tee, the off backhand return. Miss off the forehand for Świątek, who skips to the back of the court, starts gathering the balls, just putting that point to one side.
I mean, we're not there yet, but it's actually very hard to win Love and Love. Like, it's hard to not have any dips throughout a match.
Anisimova won her first round match, Love and Love, scooped over by Świątek. The attempted pass from Anisimova. Świątek was there, the flick, and it's wide from the American.
It's great. What a really good passing shot. It was drawn into the net then. Świątek, by the short return, she pushed the ball in the corner. Great passing shot for Anisimova, but Świątek's so quick. I mean, that was going to be within an inch of the sideline. She just jabbed her racket out there and dribbled over the net. Made a really tough passing shot.
Oof, ace out wide. (30-15), 3-love. Into the body of Anisimova, manages to pull out the backhand. Now she goes to the forehand side, low over the net, and into the net goes Świątek.
Anisimova going a little shorter with the forehand there, getting some more width back cross court.
That's the spot, isn't it, really? That Western grip that Świątek's got, you want to try and get it down there. She hasn't had opportunities or the confidence to do that as yet.
30-all, 3-love. Serve out wide, forehand misses.
It doesn't need to be that good.
No.
Why would you go at 30-all when you're close to getting a game on the board finally? Why do you need to go for the winner down the line return? You're asking so much of yourself.
Game point for 4-love after a 6-love first set. 46 minutes on the clock. Looking to go into the body, misses. Going down the tee, Świątek ready with the second serve. Examining the ball, discarding a bit of fluff from it. Now she's happy. Anisimova edging towards the baseline for this second serve. Holds her position with the forehand, off forehand return. Anisimova pulls back on the backhand, unleashes on a backhand line winner for deuce.
And if she gets another look at a return here, you want to see it deep through the middle of the court at the feet of Iga Świątek. Keep yourself in the point.
Deuce. Świątek serve out wide, forehand low over the net, clips the top of the net, it clips it up the line from Anisimova, a high ball that sits up the backhand, just replaced deep from Anisimova. Anisimova off the back edge of the baseline from Świątek. Świątek with the backhand, now the forehand cross court from the pole on the angle, the forehand down the line from the American, and it's missed.
She just wants to click.
So good.
Yeah, she didn't. She just wants it all of a sudden click and she can break out of this scoreline. But yeah, you're right. It's a couple of forehand down the line. Just a few revolutions, a little bit of shape. I call it shape. There's a bit of height over the net. See, Iga's doing that very well, but a lot of the men do it as well. It gives you a little bit of safety.
Game point. Misses off the first serve. Ready with the second at 4:58 on a Saturday afternoon. Sun shining down, hot conditions. And Świątek looking to make it. Played 10 games, won 10 games, but she double faults.
Yes.
Just showing us she's human.
Yeah, just unforced errors creeping in. And Amanda's just got to, she said she's got to just stay in the rallies for a bit. Not that she's winning
got to
them,
at least ask the question.
Ask the question, exactly. Oh, too good, that one. Great ace.
Up, down the tee.
Advantage, Świątek.
Świątek gives you so few chances to work with that when you do get a look at a solid forehand cross court. You just have to take it and then at least build from that.
Let.
Oh.
Must be in the finest of lets. Otherwise, it was an ace.
And it would have been 4-love. Świątek steadies herself. She doesn't really look up. She just has that long peek at the cap, and she's looking down the whole time. And finally, the glance upwards as she tosses up the ball into the body, pushes Anisimova backwards, who just can't get her footwork back off that serve, and the returner serve that pushed her into a backward position. You hear her come on. It is 4-love, and a stat has come in. This is from the BBC's commentary liaison chief, Susie Ross-Brown. The only time the Women's Championship has been won with a 6-love, 6-love scoreline was in the Challenge Round era. That's 1884 to 1921. So 1911, when Dorothea Chambers beat Dora Bothby 6-love, 6-love in 25 minutes.
Oh. Wow, that's a quick one.
That's what I was thinking.
Even by 6-love standards.
That's a quick 6-love, 6-love.
Let's hope that Anisimova isn't thinking about any of that right
Let's
now.
hope she doesn't know that stat.
Yeah.
And there's no reason she would. Backhand cross-court just in. Up the line on the backhand from Świątek, who scampers the forehand side and goes cross-court. What an angle she finds. A lofted high ball from Anisimova. The ball will amazingly land in, so loads of spin on that ball that sits up, flattened out with the forehand from Anisimova, who plays the backhand but nets.
Oh, she's looking over the box, just almost in tears, it looks like, Anisimova. She doesn't know what to do out here. And when I was getting absolutely walloped, I'd just be honestly looking at the clock and thinking, right, if I make it to an hour, if I just take my time, if I go to my routines, if I try and lengthen out the rallies, if I make it to an hour, and then I can do something with that.
Świątek with a backhand that sits deep in the forehand cross-court from Anisimova. It's love 15, it's love 4, but it's long once again from the American, and her time is fast running out. Love 30, love 4. The first set she lost, love 6.
But you almost want to tell her, try and make it to an hour, because it just gives you something to focus on, and you just get out of this mindset of just negative energy, basically.
Love 30. Anisimova with the first serve. Doesn't make it. Goes out wide. Hangs her head. Takes the ball from the shorts. Adjusts the skirt. Just looking down now. Twisting the green framed racket with the white handle in her right hand before she reaches up now and serves down the tee. And the backhand to the feet. And the forehand back. And good. Just kicks up off the back edge of the baseline.
There you go. Straight down the middle. Hard. Straight down the middle. And that's a very good play against Iga anyway. And then you've got the safety. You're not going to be able to hit, not hitting the ball wide. You can't hit the ball wide if you're going down the middle.
Świątek just taking her time, slowing things down. You should play to the service pace, but Świątek just using the towel to towel down her legs and her arms and her face. She is now ready. 15:30, Anisimova down the tee. The forehand back through the middle. The forehand cross-court from Anisimova. Anisimova on the forehand side hits heavy into the corner, but it comes back with lashings of spin from Świątek on the forehand side, who switches it to the off forehand, and it's long from the American. Break points for 5-love for Iga Świątek.
You almost don't know what to say here. It's so tough out there.
And even the crowd, I mean, they tried their best, but they're getting to that very sort of awkward stage now. Not happy with the ball toss because someone was still making a noise in the crowd. And you look at, you can just see everybody fanning themselves with whatever they have available. As Anisimova serves out wide, and the forehand back to the feet and the backhand placed up the line. And then the drop shot from Świątek draws the American, who slices the backhand. She's passed by Świątek, and she's passed with ease. And Iga Świątek in 53 minutes is a game away from double bageling her opponent and being crowned Wimbledon champion. Back here very shortly, but full-time in the Rugby League with Ian Chisnell.
Leigh Leopards are third in Super League tonight after this 6-try win over leaders Hull KR. O'Neill, Hanley and Brand crossed to give the home side a 14-6 half-time lead. Further tries from Lamb and a brace from Josh Charnley sealed the deal, as the Leopards have now beaten the top two in successive weeks. Leigh 28, Hull KR 10.
Ian, thank you so much. Don't forget the cricket continues on Sports Extra. We have football for you this evening with the Euros continuing its Group C. The final matches: Poland against Denmark and Sweden against Germany. Here, the writing is very much on the wall for Amanda Anisimova, and I think, as you both just said when we were getting the rugby league full time, it's very difficult, Laura, to know what to say.
Not as difficult as it's feeling right now for Anisimova on the court. I mean, she's sat down at this change of ends. What on earth is going through her mind right now? You want to get on the board. She's been crying into the towel, and this is just so brutal.
Yeah.
And she's thinking, I'm a much better player than this, and you know that you haven't given a great performance, and you know all the things that you're doing wrong and what could be better, but it just doesn't help at all to be thinking about it.
6-love, 5-love, serving for the title and to be crowned Wimbledon champion.
You want to go and give her a hug.
It's difficult because Iga Świątek has played so well through the course of these championships. At the moment, all the sympathies and thoughts with Amanda Anisimova, but you have to take time to think about what Iga Świątek has done. This is only the second time she's reached the second week here. Backhand cross-court from Świątek is wide, and she's played exceptionally well. Just the one set drop, that was in the second round to Katie McNally when she dropped the first set. Love 15, 5-love. Świątek the first serve down the tee. 3 points from the win.
15 on.
And it's been a ruthless performance, hasn't it? I mean, I know the other players.
It's the worst possible opponent that you could come up against, I think.
Yeah, she doesn't give you anything, and she's always fired up for every single point.
15 all, 5-love. Świątek not happy with the ball toss. She has the raw box and the player box behind her. There is a breeze today, despite the hot conditions. Świątek misses by a way out wide. Ball boy scoots forward, scoops up the loose ball back beside the scoreboard. Anisimova heads towards the baseline now, looking to be aggressive and take the second serve early. Świątek with the second serve goes down the tee. The off backhand return, the forehand through the middle and mid-court. The inside out forehand for Anisimova, who is mid-court herself, and she lofts the backhand long, trying to drag it out of the air. And Iga Świątek is 2 points from being crowned champion.
How many shots? I mean, that's another 2 or 3 inches. How many shots has she hit by just 6 inches out? I mean, must be 30 shots. It's just gone out today. I mean, I feel so sorry for her. Just like you had to set the point up, or that was the shot, but just haven't gone in.
Ace to bring up championship points for Iga Świątek with 56 minutes on the match clock. The crowd settles, the players are ready. 5-time Grand Slam champion Iga Świątek, a point away from her first Wimbledon crown. Championship point number 1. The serve out wide. The forehand is placed cross-court on the angle. The forehand is long. And the first championship point has gone.
40-13.
Actually a bit of a nervy forehand. Not that she's under pressure, but this is a huge moment.
Second championship point for Iga Świątek. Who'll go back to 3 in the world with the win. 40-30, 5-love. Świątek with the serve, serves down the tee. The forehand plays through the middle. The backhand through the middle from Świątek. The off forehand from Anisimova. The backhand cross-court from Iga Świątek. Backhand cross-court from Anisimova. Plays another backhand. That one a bit more loft on. The forehand whipped viciously deep from Świątek. It plays a forehand cross-court deep. The forehand up the line from Anisimova. Backhand down the line. And it's a winner. And Iga Świątek is the Wimbledon champion. 57 minutes on the clock. She double bagels her opponent to be crowned champion on the grass courts of SW19. A difficult afternoon for Amanda Anisimova. A hug between the two at the net. But Iga Świątek, her first title since the French Open in 2024, is your Wimbledon champion.
Wow, what a moment for her. I mean, we could talk all day about Anisimova and what didn't happen for her, but everything happened well for Iga. She came out with such a champion's mindset. Started from the locker room, that walk down the corridor at such a fast pace, and she just never let up today. Under an hour, she's up in the coach's box win for set getting a big hug. And it's been a difficult few months for them, really, because she was expected to win everything on the clay. Didn't go as planned. Nothing really went her way. And who'd have thought it would come together here?
And come together, Pat, as it has come together.
Yeah, I mean, I think Anisimova was the highest ranked player she played. Is that right? And 13th seed. So, but she's had stumbling blocks along the way in the first weeks of Wimbledon.
That's her dad, I think, that she's giving a hug to.
But yeah,
and I want to say her sister as well. Courtney Cox is in her box
special moment
today.
In her box. They've played before, haven't they? I remember seeing before one event they were playing tennis. Amanda Anisimova has left the court just to take a few moments. She will be returning. Oh, there is Courtney Cox. Look at that. There we go for an A-list friend and a little cuddle. And while Naomi Brody, these are wonderful scenes from Iga Świątek. When we think everything that she has gone through, this has been a good season by most people's standards, but not by hers. And this is her first title since the French Open in 2024.
Incredible. And would she, in hindsight, happily have this year over again, not having won a title in over a year, to claim this victory, to claim the one that she was missing and probably wanted oh so much, as Cash said earlier? All the Grand Slams, they're worth the same. Some people, maybe the Americans might slightly prefer the US Open, but I think the vast majority, this is the special one. This is Wimbledon. This is the tradition. This is where the magic is. And the celebrations continue for Iga. I don't think she minds it was love and love. However she needs to get it done across the finish line. Amanda Anisimova has actually left the court. I think she just felt so upset and maybe didn't want to see the celebrations. She's just gone to gather herself so she can come back out for the ceremony.
And she will be back out with us very shortly. But just to highlight the ruthlessness of Iga Świątek, Russell, as they bring out the carpet and they get ready to welcome the dignitaries. That is 6 Grand Slam titles from 6 Grand Slam finals at the tender age of just 24.
And the 6th one won in just 57 minutes. And that is only the second time in Wimbledon history that a ladies' singles final has finished 6-love, 6-love. As you mentioned, Gigi, you have to go back to 1911 to the day that Dorothea Lambert-Chambers beat Dora Boothby 6-love, 6-love. It's happened once before in the Open era at a Grand Slam, and that was at Roland Garros of 1988 when Steffi Graf beat Natasha Zvereva 6-love, 6-love. I think I was thinking more in recent times, Pat, of the final here in 2014 where Petra Kvitova just destroyed Eugenie Bouchard. It was, I think, 6-love, 6-3 on that occasion, but that lasted 55 minutes. Today, as the centre court crowd applauds Amanda Anisimova as she walks back onto court, the match lasted 57 minutes, but she's going to need a lot of people around her now, isn't she, to try and help her make sense of this.
And it is an incredible story, for her to be in the final in the first place. And I know it's not the final that we wanted, but her backstory is quite extraordinary if people want to look it up. But, the simple version is she's in qualifying for a reason, and mental health issues, and, tragic death of her father, etc., etc. And, so it's a fantastic effort, and she's got to look back at that and say, OK, Iga played, really, really well. The balls weren't dropping. I mean, 78% first serves. I mean, Świątek, and she's thumping the ball down. It was just a master class on what to do. While the cameras are on, Anisimova and her eyes are all puffy. She must have been just crying her eyes out there. So I think she'll get a big cheer.
She will.
It's not what everybody wanted to see, but it was a great tournament for her.
Denise Parnell, Championships referee, just explaining to Amanda Anisimova what is about to happen. The ceremony will be conducted by Annabel Croft.
It's time now for the trophy presentation for the ladies' singles final. Please welcome onto centre court Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales, patron of the All England Lawn Tennis Club. Her Royal Highness is accompanied by Debbie Jevons, Chair of the All England Lawn Tennis Club, and Sandy Proctor, President of the Lawn Tennis Association.
And they're walking along the green carpet now, out onto centre court, the traditional handshaking and exchanging a few words with some of the ball boys and ball girls. And I do wonder whether Amanda Anisimova will give an interview. That is what normally happens after a Grand Slam final, whether you are the winner or the runner-up. But I imagine it's going to be one of the toughest things she's ever had to do. Away from the Princess of Wales.
First, please show your appreciation for the chair umpire, Miriam Blay.
The first Grand Slam singles final it was today for Miriam Blay from Würzburg in Germany. And it's not one she's going to forget. Handshaking completed as she walks away with her memento of this ladies singles
to the
final.
runner-up from the United States of America, Amanda Anisimova.
Anisimova is trying all she can to summon up a smile. And the words being exchanged between her and the Princess of Wales, I'm sure, are being very carefully chosen now as the Princess hands Amanda Anisimova the silver runner-up tray, and now she waves, and now she smiles as she makes her way to the microphone, where possibly Annabelle will put a couple of questions to her. But first, there's a greeting from Debbie Jevons and Sandy Proctor.
And the ladies singles champion
in fact,
for 2025 from Poland, Iga
greet the
Świątek.
champion. Four times a French Open champion, once a US Open champion, and now she's conquered centre court and this foreign surface of which she was so suspicious for so long. Świątek shakes hands with all the dignitaries, stands next to Sally Bolton with the Venus Rosewater dish in her hands. And now here comes the runner-up, Amanda Anisimova.
Amanda, I know this has been a very difficult day for you and a difficult match. You're up against such an experienced opponent in Iga today. We'll just give you a moment.
Bless her.
Some tears, as you would expect for Amanda Anisimova.
Thank you, Iga. Yeah, you're such an incredible player. It's obviously showed today, so you've been such an inspiration to me. Just an unbelievable athlete, and you've had such an incredible 2 weeks here, and getting to the final first of your first Wimbledon and winning the championship. It's so special, so congratulations to you and your team. Thank you to everyone who's supported me since my first round match here. It's been such an incredible atmosphere, and you guys have carried me through this entire championship, and it's been an incredible fortnight for me. And even though I ran out of gas a bit today, and I wish that I could put on a better performance for all of you, you guys have still been there for me and lifted me up today, so thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who's put on this incredible tournament. I mean, it's been such a privilege playing here and making it to the championship match, and to be able to compete in front of all of you has been so special. So yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna forget this experience and all of these memories. So thank you to everyone who's been a part of this. And to my pretty small box over there, I don't think there's one seat left. You guys have been there for me, and some of my family flying in. I mean, it was so unbelievable to experience this with you all, and I wouldn't be standing here if you guys didn't fly in and support me throughout the rest of the tournament. I mean, you guys were that extra motivation and inspiration that I needed, and you kept pushing me forward, and you guys have always believed in me. And my mom, who flew in this morning, I definitely would not be standing here. My mom's put in more work than I have, honestly. Guys, I'm so sorry. A few more words, sorry. No, my mom is the most selfless person I know, and she's done everything to get me to this point in my life, so. So thank you for being here and breaking the superstition of flying in. I mean, it's definitely not why I lost today. I'm so happy that I get to share this moment and for you to be here and witness this in person. You know, you don't get to see me live playing that much anymore because you do so much for my sister and I, and you always have. So I love you so much. And to the rest of my team over there, I mean, thank you so much, not just for the last 2 weeks, but for the whole journey it's been this whole past year. You guys have made it so enjoyable with the process and just taking care of me and wishing the best for me every single day, and everything you guys do for me has been, I honestly don't have the words. I'm just so thankful. And everyone else, I just love you guys, you know that. And lastly, I know I didn't have enough today, but I'm going to keep putting in the work, and I always believe in myself, so I hope to be back here again one day, and thank you, everyone.
Your runner-up, Amanda Anisimova.
There were things she wanted to say, and she was able to pay that very moving tribute to her mother in particular. Remember, her father died just before her 18th birthday, just 6 years ago. Here's the champion.
Many congratulations, Iga. You looked unstoppable out there today. You're the first Polish player ever to win Wimbledon in singles. What does this mean to you, and what does it mean to your country?
I gotta say, I don't know yet, because it seems super surreal. Well, but first of all, I want to congratulate Amanda for, amazing 2 weeks anyways. No matter what happened today, you should be proud of the work you're doing, and I hope we're gonna play many more finals here and other tournaments. You have a game for that, so congrats to your team as well.
I know you picked up a racket when you were very young, but how long have you dreamed of this moment right now?
Honestly, I didn't even dream, because for me it was just like way too far, I feel like I'm already an experienced player, but after winning, the slams before, but I never really expected this one. So I want to thank my team, because I feel like they believed in me more than I did. And I want to thank my coach who joined this year, and obviously, with ups and downs, right now we showed everybody that it's working. So also to the team that has been with me for many years, I would be nowhere without you, and having your trust and constant support and knowing each other so well. This is like the most, the best thing that a player can have. So thank you guys. I also... Sorry, I'll just continue if I can. I also want to thank the rest of the team that came for the finals. I chciałam podziękować też mojej rodzinie, zwłaszcza tacie, bez którego by mnie tu nie było i który w wielu ciężkich momentach popychał mnie do pracy, wtedy kiedy ja jeszcze byłam za głupia, żeby to zrozumieć. Sorry for Polish, I'm switching back to English. And yeah, I want to also thank everybody who is making this tournament so unique, because there's no tournament like that. I always was kind of, I don't know, anxious because of that, because like walking around here, being on a center court for me, it felt like a huge, pressure and a bit too much. But this year I really, really enjoyed it. I feel like I improved my game enough to feel comfortable here. So also thank you, everybody, the staff, the tournament organizers, to, help us have the best tournament. And yeah, to my sponsors as well, everybody who's supporting at home. And last but not least, thank you guys for coming here, for being a part of this amazing event. And I'm always going to remember the opening of champagne bottles between serves. It's a sound that will keep me up at night. And yeah, it's really amazing. I'm going to enjoy these moments, and hopefully you're going to enjoy tomorrow's men's final, and see you next year.
Well done, your new Wimbledon champion, Iga Świątek.
Iga Świątek dropping just one set in the entire championships. That was in the second round to Katie McNally, who's currently outside the world's top 200, and she is a Wimbledon champion for the first time. She is now the youngest since Serena Williams in 2002 to win Grand Slam titles on 3 different surfaces. And only Margaret Court, Monica Seles and now Iga Świątek have won their first 6 Grand Slam finals in the Open era as the two players pose for photographs. Iga Świątek, the champion. 6-love, 6-love for only the second time in Wimbledon history. And it lasted just 57 minutes.
The Princess of Wales is now greeting members of the ground staff on the other side of the net to where the trophy ceremony took place, which is just under the royal box. And photos will now be taken for the photographers based around various sides of centre court. There'll be a lot of media work for Iga Świątek to be doing, and Naomi Brodie watching with Pat Cash and Laura Robson. Again, you just have to take your hat off to Iga Świątek, who really in previous years hasn't felt comfortable on this grass, this sort of alien surface to the clay court, and here she is as the Wimbledon champion.
Yeah, just incredible, isn't it? I love how she's taken what has been quite a difficult year for her, somewhat of a tricky moment, and just flipped the script. She's used it to her advantage. She said, I've lost early at the French Open, somewhere that she's dominated. She's barely lost a match at, or hasn't lost a match at for years. And she said, well, with that extra time, I'm going to rest, I'm going to prepare, I'm going to take the grass court season head on. And with that extra time, look what she's achieved. The final in her first grass court tournament of the season a couple of weeks ago in Bad Homburg, and now the Wimbledon title. Incredible.
6 Grand Slam titles at the age of just 24, and she's won them, Pat, on the 3 different surfaces.
Yeah, no, she's an amazing athlete, a great player, and she brings something to the game that is very difficult to deal with. And obviously in the clay, the heavy topspin and the speed that she has around the court, the intensity, and it was a masterclass out there. And full credit to her. And I suppose she benefited too for the seeds and so many upsets along the way in this tournament. It's been a strange tournament on the ladies' side, I suppose the cream has risen to the top. She's just she's just a great player, great competitor, such a professional. I mean, every little thing that she does, and that pays off. And Amanda will learn from this experience, and I'm sure she'll come back. This will be disappointing to her, and we see how sad she is, but you know, she's a good player. She's had a great story. You know, we wanted a better final, of course, a closer final, but you know, she's a winner in her own right, though not today, of course. But you know, it's been a fantastic effort for her to overcome the things she's had to overcome.
I think exactly that, Laura. As Amanda Anisimova is probably asking, can I leave now? Because there's a few photos to be taken, and I think she's just got the nod for Denise Parnell that she can leave the court. But
wants
from
to get to her team, doesn't she?
Father, who died suddenly of a heart attack in 2019 on the eve of the US Open, a week before she turned 18, then COVID struck, injuries, I think, through 2021. She left the sport in 2023. She fell out of the world's top 400 to then take that break, Laura, to come back on Monday. Not only will she be in a Wimbledon finalist, but she'll be number 7 in the world.
Yeah, incredible achievement over the last 12 months for Anisimova to find the sort of consistency that you need in your game to be top 10 in the world, to have these amazing results week in, week out. So, you know, she'll be devastated today, and I'm sad for her that in all the photos she's going to have seriously puffy eyes. So, yeah, you know, this is a building block, and hopefully she goes on to achieve bigger and better things, and she'll look back on this and think, why was I ever so nervous in that Wimbledon final? But a very, very tough day for her, and being escorted off by referee Denise Parnell, still with tears in her eyes.
She has a smile on her face and she waves to the crowd as she departs the centre court. But she will be back, no doubt about that, just 23 years of age, as Iga Świątek continues to do her lap. It's not as quick as when she walked onto court earlier. She slightly slowed down a little bit, showing everyone the Venus Rosewater dish. All there's left to say after a 57-minute final is huge thanks to Pat Cash, Laura Robson, Naomi Brady. You can enjoy, I don't know what you were planning, but it can start. I mean, yesterday, Laura, you had to get away for the members' barbecue cocktail. Anything in plans this evening, or is this just...
Well, I'm going to go back up to the player relations office and get the champagne ready for Iga.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So what do you do now? Present that. What happens now? You said you've got bottles in the fridge, but do you sort of give some to her team, or what happens?
We sort of lay them out. There's tables and chairs up there, but the team's coming up. They've already messaged me to say they're on their way. They want a team photo up there with Iga and the trophy, and I'm sure bottles will be popped.
Right, Laura has to go. So Laura Robson, Pat Cash and Naomi Brody, correspondent Russell Fuller, thank you for your company in the centre court commentary box. So Iga Świątek is your Wimbledon champion at 2025. Time's 5:31, still plenty to come on 5 Live this evening, but let's start by crossing to Lords and getting the latest on the cricket with Ellie.